Southwest Florida, welcome to Lee Pitts Live. We are here with a candidate for City Council for the Lee County, for the city of Fort Myers, and we're so thrilled to get him here in the studio. Let's bump him in. Martin Byrd. Martin, it was written in the cards. It is a fulfillment of a prophecy. It was bound to happen. And I'm glad you have put your hat in the arena. It's always good to have a nice contest. And I think you've done it before you're 30 years old, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll be right at 30.
Okay. Now, a lot of people don't realize that Dr. King, who I'm sure is one of your idols, he accomplished a lot by the time he was 30 years old. Yes. He died at 39. People think he was like this old 60-year-old man. He was pretty young. And most people think you're a lot younger than 30. But talk about what ward are you running for first of all?
It will be Ward 1. It's Fort Myers City Council, which is the eastern part of Fort Myers, more northern, with Ward 6, which is growing a lot, which is probably more eastern, but kind of the northeast part of the city of Fort Myers. Okay. Palm Beach to MLK, and kind of buffers with Michigan and Seaboard.
There might be some redrawing on the maps and things affecting that, but generally that's the general.
Generally that'll at least carry most of it. They'll vote on the maps end of January, but that'll pretty much carry still most of it.
At this time, we know you have one opponent. There'll be one, Teresa Watkins Brown, the incumbent,
yes,
who's been in there for about 3 terms or so. What are you hearing out there now as you move around?
I think people are supportive. I think the council person has been in term for 13 years at this point. So just personally, I think people that know me know who I am. They know what I'm about. And I wouldn't do this to just be doing something. We got a lot of stuff in the world that we can do. And you see an opportunity to bring a different perspective to the city council, a different viewpoint, and just change something
change
different.
The big word, change.
Yeah, and we throw it around, and sometimes we don't always know what that means. We know our city is growing, we know it's changing, but into what? We should have a say into that, and we should have at least some direction. So if we just allow change to come, it will definitely come, but it may not be the change we want or is good for us.
Let's talk about you, Martin Byrd. How did you? Let's go behind the scenes and the day when you decided you want to use what you've already been done and get more involved in public policy.
For me, it was just asking the question: can I be effective? You know, a desire to be in office, even a passion for the community, is not good enough. If I want to tell the people of Ward 1 I want to be their representative, I need to be able to go to that seat, sit at the diocese, and outside of that Monday meeting, be able to deal with the situational issues, whether that's infrastructure, whether that is a developmental project, whether that is parks and recreation. I need to be able to approach those situations from articulate, a studied, and a measured approach. If I'm not able to do that, if I'm not able to commit, if I'm not able to bring the proper skill set, and just to approach it not knowing everything, but as I am going to learn it, I am going to be a student as a council person. So if there's a lot of development going on in the area, I need to understand development. If we have water pressure issues, I need to understand public works. If our parks and recs have not been getting what the funding hadn't been in the current shape that they need, I need to understand parks and recs.
Same thing with law enforcement, the fire department, everything.
100%.
Okay, let's go to Martin Byrd. When people go into or look at that ballot, many of them will be voting and mailing it in, and they see your name for Ward 1?
Yes.
Ward 1. When they see your name, what do you want to come to their mind? What will they be getting when they get Martin Byrd?
They need to know that they're going to get somebody who will put myself out there to be accountable. That's going to be trustworthy. that's going to be accessible, that's going to be capable, and once elected, I wouldn't plan to just go door to door when it's election time. I want to go door to door when we're trying to push an issue. We want to park. They know that everything's going to be building support. They know that they don't have to bring up the fact that their light is broken, because eventually I'm going to make a round of their street and I'm going to see the lights out. So they know they will have somebody that they don't have to always call. He's going to be proactive, and they can trust that I'm going to do everything in my power and anybody connected to me's power to get the job done.
You've been watching the city council meetings. You go to them from time to time over the years. You've been, watching it over the years. How happy or disenchanted are you about the way things are going with the city of Fort Myers in terms of the mayor and the council?
I think there's definitely can be some change. And it starts with our budget, our budgetary process, how we build our government, and making sure they read the budget. First of all, there are some issues that happen and it comes up later. I'm like, well, you just had a budgetary process, and then you just voted on a budgetary item that you should have brought up 3 months ago. So for me, taking that proactive approach, I think we're headed in a positive direction, whether that's of our doing or just the winds are blowing in our direction. But we need to take a more proactive approach in the development of the city, how we want our city to build. We can get development on MLK, and if it's just a row of warehouses, are we satisfied with that? So I think our council needs to take a more proactive approach of how we want our neighborhoods to look, and that is spoken on how we budget and how we direct staff. I think we have a capable city manager, and if the vision is laid out there properly, and if the correct direction is given to staff, our city will go forward in the direction that is positive for the entire city and not just for one interest group.
Well, we're certainly going to be getting you here in the studio as this campaign makes its way down the trail. Good to get you here for this breaking news. Breaking news, if you hadn't heard, Martin Byrd, the famed Dunbar resident, young man who's done a lot in the community over the years. His name is etched in stone. He's a recipient of the Lee Pitts Live Person of the Year Award 2020. I'm sure that'll be on his bio when he puts it out.
Definitely.
Right.
Definitely.
And he's now running for the city council, Ward 1 for the city of Fort Myers. These are exciting times. So, as the saying goes on this particular show, Miami has the oranges, but Fort Myers got
we got the juice. And Ward 1 gonna have more juice in a little bit.
You got the juice, and Martin Byrd is right there in the juice. We'll see you later.